The light of Dianna. Some people are born with a fire inside them, a dream so big, a purpose so strong that nothing can dim its light. But in life, not everyone will want to see you rise. Some will try to break you, betray you, and steal what you have built. But true strength is not found in how many times you fall, but in how many times you rise again. This is the story of a woman who gave everything to help her people. She was betrayed, left with nothing, but she refused to give up. Instead, she built something even greater. And in the end, she did not just survive, she won. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let this story inspire you. Whether you're winding down for the night, driving to work, or seeking a moment of peace, let the journey of Dianna remind you of the power within you. Now, sit back, relax, and listen. On a small island in the Caribbean, where the sea whispered to the shores and the wind carried the laughter of ancestors, there lived a woman named Dianna. Dianna was born in a village where the sun was golden, but the people were weary. She had watched mothers struggle to feed their children, fathers wake before dawn to work in the fields, and elders sigh as dreams faded with age. But Dianna was different. She carried hope like a lantern in the night. From a young age, she knew she was meant to do more. She started small. With her grandmother's wisdom and the secrets of the earth, she created healing oils and remedies from the plants that grew in the hills. She walked from village to village, selling them, but rather than hoarding her wealth, she gave it away. She built schools for the children so they could dream beyond the sugarcane fields. She provided food for the hungry so no child would go to bed with an empty stomach. She empowered women to start their own businesses, teaching them that their hands held the power to create their own destiny. Her name became known, Dianna, the woman of light. But where there is light, there is also shadow. Among those she trusted was Jonas, a man she had known since childhood. He had once stood beside her, sharing her dreams, promising to build a better future with her. But greed poisons even the purest hearts. Jonas saw the power Dianna held, not just in wealth, but in the love of her people, and he wanted it for himself. Late at night, he whispered to the villagers, "She is taking your power," he said. "She gives you food, but she holds the wealth. She builds schools, but she makes the rules. She does not share, she controls." And slowly, the whispers became doubt. The people who once sang her praises now questioned her intentions. The hands she once fed now pointed at her in accusation. The same voices that cheered her name now murmured words of betrayal. And then, they took everything. The schools burned. The businesses she funded collapsed. The people who once reached for her hand now turned their backs on her. Jonas led the charge. He did not just take her wealth, he took her trust. Dianna, the woman of light, was now alone in the dark. For days, she sat by the ocean, watching the waves come and go, the same way her dreams had been washed away. "I gave them everything," she whispered to the sea, and still it was not enough. She thought of leaving. She thought of giving up. She thought that maybe Jonas was right. Maybe she had no place in the future of her people. But then, the wind spoke, not in words, but in memories, the laughter of children in the schoolyards she built, the tears of the mothers she had helped feed, the smiles of women who had found their own strength because of her belief in them. And then, a voice, not from the sea, not from the wind, but from deep within her own soul. "Dianna, did our ancestors give up? Did the women before you surrender when they were shackled and sold? You were born of resilience, carved from strength. Stand up. And so she did. With nothing but her hands and the fire in her soul, Dianna started again. She went back to the women, the mothers, the daughters, the grandmothers. She taught them how to grow their own food, how to build businesses, how to stand on their own feet. She showed them that they were never powerless. They planted gardens, their crops flourishing under the Caribbean sun. They wove baskets, selling them in the markets to travelers from faraway lands. They used the island's natural herbs to create medicines that healed the sick. And slowly, her people saw. They saw her not as someone who wanted control, but as someone who never left them, even when they turned their backs on her. And they returned. One by one, heads bowed, tears of regret in their eyes. Even Jonas came, now broken and alone. I was wrong, he whispered. I let greed blind me. Can you forgive me? Dianna looked into his eyes, the same eyes that once held betrayal, now filled with sorrow, and she forgave him, not because he deserved it, but because she deserved peace. With patience, wisdom, and the strength of her ancestors flowing through her veins, Dianna rebuilt. This time, stronger. This time, smarter. She did not just rebuild schools. She taught her people to build for themselves. She did not just give money. She gave knowledge so they would never be powerless again. And when she stood on the highest hill, looking down at the laughter of children, the smiles of mothers, the pride of fathers, she knew they could take everything from her, but they could never take her purpose. Betrayal did not break her. It made her unstoppable. And so, as the ocean sang its eternal song and the moon bathed the island in silver light, Dianna sat with her people, telling stories of resilience, of hope, of the fire that never dies. Because greatness is not in how many times we fall, but in how many times we rise. Remember this: no betrayal, no setback, no storm can take away your purpose. If you stay true to your mission, you will rise again, just like Dianna, just like the strongest among us have always done. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, your strength is greater than you know. If you enjoyed our story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us create more inspiring content. Stay connected and check back often for more motivational stories that uplift, encourage, and serve as the perfect companion on your journey. Whether you need a boost of positivity, a spark of wisdom, or just a moment to reflect, we've got you covered. Let's grow together, one story at a time.